Now you are completely and totally caught up. You have everything done except putting all of these things together on the background paper. You have two houses completely finished, top to bottom. You have one great snowflake that you worked on and picked out your best one. And now I'm going to show you how to put all of this together so that our project is finished. For these final steps, you will need to make sure that you have your two buildings, your best snowflake. You will need a blue piece of background paper and a bottle of glue. You will also need a pencil to write your name on the back of the blue paper. After you get this piece of blue paper from the teacher, the very first thing we always need to do is turn it over and write our name on the back. You also need to write your class code. Some of you are going to be 2-D, Mrs. Donaldson's class. Some of you are going to be 2-T, Miss Reddig's class. You don't write both of them, you just write the one that belongs to you. Flip that paper over, and we are ready to start getting these things attached. Now you have one house that is big and one house that is a little bit shorter. It does not matter if you put your big one on the left and your small one on the right, or you flip-flop and go this direction. What does matter is that that snowflake is going to go in the sky wherever there is the largest gap of blue space. So if I have my large house on this side and my small house over here, snowflake will go on the left. If I flip and I put my large house here and my small house here, that snowflake will end up going on that side of the paper. You need to decide. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever, but you are in charge of this decision, and that's what you will need to decide first. Which side is your snowflake going to go on? When you have decided which side you like the snowflake on, you're going to turn that over and you're going to put just a few dots of glue on the back. We don't want glue coming out all over the place underneath our snowflake when we glue it on. So just choose a few areas where you have larger segments of paper and just put on some dots and some dabs of glue. When you're ready, flip that over and put it up in one of the corners. You've already decided this. And do make it stick off the paper a little bit. We will be trimming this in the future when it is dry. Now, the next thing to do is to get your houses ready. You know, since I put my snowflake here, that my small house has to go directly below. So that's going to be on that side. My large house then is going to go on this side. So once I have figured out which house is going to go where, it's time to start gluing. You all know how to glue, so this should not be anything difficult. Don't go overboard with your glue though. All you need is a skinny line of glue around the outside. If you want to put a few dots in the middle, you can. I'm going to flip this over and I want to line the straight edge of my house right up with the straight edge of my paper, and I also want to line up the bottom edges. So once it's in place, pat it down, press it down, make sure that it's staying. Please, please make sure that things are glued straight. And please make sure that we don't see any of that blue paper sticking out over there. Make sure it's lined up and glued down. Once that one is secure, you're going to glue the small one on this side. Now the houses will overlap. The small one will overlap the big one a little bit. Just like in town, if I go around town and take photographs of houses, I will have some houses that look like they are in front of some other houses. Thin line of glue around the outside. Same thing goes for this side. I'm lining up my edge with the edge of the blue paper, and I'm lining up the bottoms. Get it in position and press it down. And now, this project is complete. Well done. Congratulations. You are so close to being done. There is one or two more steps, very short, very easy, that we need to do to wrap this up. First thing, remember I told you we would be trimming off the outside of that snowflake? After your snowflake is dry, it must be dry, then you can turn your paper over to the back, And you can use that blue line as a guide to cut off the extra. Do not cut into the blue paper at all. Cut beside the blue paper, using it as a guide. And now that snowflake looks like it's just entering the picture, coming down to cover this town with a blanket of snow. Now, if you have time, and this will depend on you and your class, we might have time during class to splatter paint a little bit of white over this picture to make it look like snow is falling. But that is something that I am not going to show you in a video. And so when you get all finished with this project, you bring it to me and tell me you're done. We'll look at the clock and we'll see if we have time. Good job.